Hello and welcome to my garden and the dinosaurs who live there. We're on Sunday the 19th of January, it's a nice mild day, so I'm outside and I'm sowing some seeds. Now, you may have seen, if you saw my earlier video on what seeds to sow in January, you'll see that I categorically said, I'm not going to sow chillies. I don't really like chillies, I'm not going to sow chillies. Well, what am I going to sow today? Chillies. I was thinking about it, and yes, some of it is I'm getting caught up in the whirlwind of people sowing chillies, but I was thinking about it, and actually I do use chillies, bought in chillies, since I've not really grown my own for a while. I use chillies in chili con carne, I use chilli in curries, I use chilli in some of my pasta sauces. So I thought, well, you know, why not? So I am going to sow some chillies after all. Bit of a U-turn there. I'm not going to sow many though. I've seen people sow dozens of varieties. I'm not going to do that. I did ask for some advice from someone that I regard as quite a chilli expert, and that's Jason from Allotment of the Dead. So if you've not seen his channel, look him up, particularly if you're into chillies at this time of year, and you'll see he's got a wealth of knowledge about chillies, and he is sowing hundreds, I think, of them. So I asked him, I said, what do you think a good chilli would be? If I'm only growing one, I'm actually growing 4. If I'm only growing one, what do you think I should grow? I don't like it particularly hot, and yeah, but I would like something that's flavourful. And he came back with a suggestion. And while I looked up a company that sold that particular chilli, and I'll tell you what it is in a second, that company had very compelling marketing on some other chillies, and actually some sweet peppers as well. So I took the plunge, and I actually, as well as a chilli that Jason recommended, I bought another hot chilli, well, not really hot chilli, and also a couple of sweet peppers, because I do love sweet peppers. And then to top it all, I'm in a sort of gardening club run by Steve House of the Digwell Greenfingers channel, and every month he sends out a little collection of seeds, and one of the seeds that he sent out this month is a chilli. So I thought, well, may as well go for it. So let me show you the chillies that I'm going to grow and how I am going to go about sowing them. Okay, so when I asked Jason what he recommended as a chilli for me to grow, he recommended a chilli called Aje Norteno. And let me just read about it, because I don't really know that much about it. It's a rare chilli originating from northern coastal valleys of Peru. Produces thin-walled pendant-shaped fruits about 8 centimetres long, ripening from yellow to red and orange. The fruits have a green apple-like flavour without any bitterness. And I think it's a sort of medium hot chilli. It's not very hot, or not roasting hot anyway. So this was the one he suggested I get. I just googled to see where I could buy it, and I came across this supplier called Red Dragon, which apparently is a bit of a chilli expert. So I got this pack of Aje Norteno chilies from Red Dragon, and while I was on their website, I came across a name that I recognised. It's a chilli called Anaheim. And Anaheim, I am sure I've seen Robin from Robin Gardens, another great YouTube channel. I have seen her with Anaheim chilies, I believe. And I thought, well, okay, let's have a bash of those as well. So I've got some Anaheim chilies, again, not tremendously hot. And again, from Red Dragon. Now, when I got my delivery from Red Dragon, they had included a little pack, a mystery pack of chilies. So there's a bunch of chilli seeds in here that they're not defining what they are. They've got a few suggestions of what they might be. It could be Carolina Reaper, Aje Charspita, and a couple of others. So I thought, well, these sound hot ones, so I'll probably sow a couple of these as well and see what I get. And then, as I said, I'm in the Digwell Greenfingers Gardening Club, and Steve sent a little pack of chilies, and these are cayenne. I think cayenne are a little bit hotter, but I do use cayenne pepper in certain cooking, so why not? So that's me. I've got 3 known chilies, and I've got a pack that's got unknown in them, and I thought I would get those sown. And how am I going to sow them? Well, I already have prepared a half seed tray with holes in, and then its little drip tray as well. This has got in, you see there, this has got in sieved seed compost. So while seed compost tends to be less lumpy, I've made sure that I've sieved out any lumps from it. And I mixed in some vermiculite. Of course, I always use vermiculite when I'm sowing. It's a fine vermiculite, this one, and it just helps to lighten up that growing medium, helps aerate the soil, helps drainage and keep things moist without being overly wet. So that's what I've done. I've got a mix of vermiculite and sieved seed compost in there, and I've made some little holes in the soil where I'm going to pop in the chillies. I'll pop in the chillies, and then I'll cover with vermiculite. I'll put a dome, a clear dome over this, and this is going to go indoors onto a heat mat that will be set for a temperature of about 25 degrees Celsius, and hopefully we'll get those germinated in the not too distant future. So let me bring you in closer and I'll show you me getting these sown. Okay, let's start from the mystery chilli side. You'll see that I've put in 4 little holes against each of the labels here, and I'm going to pop 1 chilli seed into each of the holes. They're not very deep holes, they're more like indentations, and then I'm just going to top up with some vermiculite. And I have no idea what these first ones are. Oh, that's a bit too many. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. So now they are Jane Norteno. And we've got 10 seeds in the pack there. I'm only going to sow 4. And assuming all goes to plan, that will be all I sow of these. So I'll have some for next year. Oops. If I don't pour them everywhere. There we go. Right. Next is the Anaheim. Four. And last, the cayenne. And I think it looks like there's about 8 or 10 seeds in here as well. Right. So that's all the seeds sown. I'm just going to get some vermiculite and drizzle a little bit over. There we go. Now, one thing I didn't say was I had pre-wet the compost, so I had done that before I actually sowed the seeds. And now what I'm going to do is, just because we've got the dry vermiculite on top, I'm just going to just lightly dampen this. Oops, if I don't run out of water first. There we are. There we go. We'll pop on, take these back down to the house, we'll pop the propagator lid on, get it on a heat pad, and we will, as I say, I'll put it to, I think, 25 degrees C, and we'll see how long these take to germinate. Okay, so that's me now got 16 chillies sown, or 16 chilli seeds sown of different varieties, and we'll see how we get on. So I'll keep you posted, of course, as to when they germinate and how the plants are looking. I don't really want 16 chilli plants, so if miraculously everything germinates and everything grows on well, I will be giving some of these plants away. If I had one of each, you know, one of each of the named ones and maybe one or two of the mystery ones, I'd be more than happy, to be honest. That will give me enough chillies to be going on with. So what chillies are you growing? Are you growing tons? Are you growing none? Or are you like me and just doing a few? I'd love to hear. Please pop something in the comments below so you can let us know. I'd also like to know when you're sowing your chillies and how you're sowing your chillies. I'm using what I would term a bog standard way of sowing the seeds. I know that other people use slightly more sophisticated approaches, you know, pre-soaking the seeds in tea, for example. Chamomile tea, I believe, is a good one. But yeah, I'm just going for the bog standard approach, and we'll see what happens. I have included in the description of this video links to the YouTube channels that I've mentioned in this video, so Allotment of the Dead and the Digwell Green Fingers channel. So if you're interested in what they're doing with regard to chillies and other things on their channels, please look them up. But for now, I think I will call a halt. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give me a thumbs up, and I will talk to you again very, very soon. Bye bye for now.